Hey everybody, this is Dan Borgo. For anybody who doesn't know me, I am the worship director here at Faith Fellowship, and I'm recording this video for all the students that have recently shown interest in the youth band or the youth tech team. This video is also going to be sent to all the parents of these students that we have contact information for, and it's going to lay out our structure, our expectations, the things that you're going to need, and so much more. So for both students and parents, please watch this video in its entirety. Please don't be discouraged by the fact that it's a little bit on the long side. There is a lot of information here, but youth band and youth tech are actually pretty laid back and a lot of fun and really rewarding once we get started. So let's do that. Let's get started. Come October 14th, we will buckle down and we'll get started learning and rehearsing and worshiping together for the year. The 14th will be our first rehearsal, at least for those students that are scheduled for October, followed by a second rehearsal and a worship night on October 21st. And so I just want to say I am truly excited to be a part of raising up the next generation in our church and developing a worship culture in our young people. You students, you guys are literally the future of our church. You matter, and how you worship matters. So our first set list of worship songs has been put out for students to start learning, and we've begun our rotating schedule as well. And what I mean by a rotating schedule is that because we have multiple students for certain band or tech positions, you will probably not serve every month. Some students will not start on the 14th, but will likely start the following month in November. But generally speaking, the band will lead a worship night together once a month during a Wednesday night Refuge Youth, and we will have two rehearsals for that worship night. One the prior Wednesday, and one the day of. And both rehearsals will be at 5 p.m. And it'll be super important that students, of course, make it to rehearsals and are on time. Students running tech, you are also going to need to be at these rehearsals as well. Our worship ministry model involves several different elements, which is going to involve a pretty high level of commitment from you students. So this will involve a 3-day per month commitment. And the first day is for band only. The first day is one-on-one coaching with a worship mentor. As many students as we can, we will pair with worship mentors as they become available. Our adult team is very limited actually right now because of COVID-19. But a worship mentor is someone who's on the adult worship team that leads vocally or plays the same instrument as the student and has been determined to be fit not only as a music mentor, but a spiritual mentor as well. And so the focus of this time will be learning the songs as well as the skills to be implemented in worship here at Faith, and also developing that relationship with the student. Youth tech members, we're also looking to recruit tech mentors for you as well, but your time with your mentors will primarily happen during rehearsals. So the second day, there's 3 days. So the second day is a Wednesday night rehearsal at 5 p.m. So the student will be scheduled for 2 Wednesday nights per month, 2 Wednesday night rehearsals. This one will usually be the prior Wednesday to the worship night. And that will be to rehearse with the team and to be coached in a team setting as we work through a 4-song set together. The third day is another rehearsal, another Wednesday night rehearsal at 5 p.m., followed by leading a worship night at Refuge. And so at that rehearsal, we will finalize details and polish things up at this one. And then the students will attend Refuge at 6:30, during which we will have our worship night together at 7 p.m. And guys, these 3 days do not include the time that you, the students, will need to spend at home working on these songs on your own, which will be extremely important. That being said, this commitment will also involve that time dedicated to practicing and preparing at home. It's also going to involve coming to rehearsals prepared and having learned a majority of your parts. It's going to involve being reliable and being on time and having a humble and coachable attitude. And it's going to involve learning to use Planning Center Services app, the website, and to receive your music and your chord charts and all of that. And for scheduling purposes and reminders and notifications, Planning Center is a big part of what we do when it comes to worship at Faith. And it's going to involve a commitment to live a lifestyle of worship outside of the church as well as inside. And a lifestyle of worship is a way of living that glorifies God in everything that we do. And that is so important. And that is for every student. That's what makes our worship on stage authentic and real. So back to music mentors for a minute. It is going to be up to the students and parents and mentors in this kind of combined effort to find a time for the student to meet with your mentors. There's rooms in the church that are often available. The worship center might also be available if you need to use the drum set or the keyboard, but availability can be a little more limited. And basically, the facility calendar needs to be checked by either me or Dot Ralitz, our church office administrator, in order to make sure that the room is available and reserved for you. And you can call in anytime during office hours to make that happen. And in-home meetings are okay too. But anytime a student and a mentor are meeting together, there has to be another adult present in the home or in the church building or any other practice location that's being used that is aware that the student and the mentor are working together. Let's talk about Planning Center and about receiving your materials and all of that. Students, you're going to receive your music 2 weeks before your scheduled Wednesday night service, and you're going to receive it digitally through Planning Center as well when the music is ready. And you can also opt to receive push notifications or text notifications instead of a email notification. Some people really prefer that. Printed chord charts and a printed service order are going to be provided in a binder. So hard copies on paper are going to be printed and provided for you at Wednesday rehearsal, at your first Wednesday. And that can be taken home for additional practice and preparing and taking notes and all of that. You just need to remember to bring it back with you to the second rehearsal because you're going to need it. And then after the worship night, that music that you took notes on or whatever you did with it is yours to keep. And you can pop the binder open, take that out, take it home, use it next time we do those songs, whatever. But I need the binder back. So make sure that you return the binder. Make sure you remember to bring it with you and bring your music with you in it and then return it after the worship night. Planning Center Online is used for pretty much everything worship related here at Faith. That means youth tech team, you guys as well. Everyone that signed up for either team will have a Planning Center Services account very shortly, and I will make those for you and invite you via an email, unless of course you were with us last year and you already have one. And we will use PCO for everything from receiving materials to scheduling to practicing at home and more. So when creating the schedule, which I will do 1 or 2 months at a time near the end of the month, and I will send out an email requesting what's called blockout dates. These are dates that you are in essence blocking out on your calendar as not available. And I always give you a few days to get those submitted on the app. That way I can schedule around your availability. So don't worry, it's easy. And I'm going to post 2 very short videos in this video description below, as well as the email you just received from me that will teach you in about 5 minutes total how to use the app, as well as its specialized features for worship teams and media. So in-ear monitors, let's talk about that for a minute. Parents and students, it's important that both of you hear this. Our sound system runs on in-ear monitors on stage. All youth band students are going to need in-ear monitors in order to play or sing on stage, and they will not be able to hear themselves or keep up with the band without them. Luckily, what used to cost $100 to $400 has changed dramatically over the last 4 to 5 years. So you can now get a pretty excellent quality set of in-ear monitors off of Amazon from either of these 2 brands, KZ or CCA, for only $20 to $40, and they are great. And I used a $20 pair of KZs every week myself for over 4 years, and they were wonderful for me. So be sure to purchase a model with dual drivers or higher. It might also be phrased as hybrid driver, or 1DD and 1BA, or 1DD and 2BA. These numbers, they signify the tiny speakers, the number of the tiny speakers per side in each of these earphones. And a single driver is typically not going to provide the clarity that musicians and vocalists will need on stage. So what I don't want you to do is don't go to Target and grab some earbuds off the shelf. Don't bring in your Apple iPod headphones to rehearsal. These things will not work. You will need to purchase something designed for this purpose. So as you're shopping around on Amazon, which is what I recommend that you do in order to get one of these 2 brands, use these keywords. Use the keywords KZ in-ear monitors or CCA in-ear monitors in your search, and you will have plenty of options. Parents, students might really enjoy getting to pick from a number of models and designs in whatever your decided price range is. And everyone, if your family is truly unable to make this purchase for whatever reason, please talk to us, and we will try to work through that and work something out for you. Students, you're going to need these in-ear monitors before your first rehearsal, so it's very important. I'm posting a link in the email and in the video description again below to an inexpensive model that I highly recommend, and it's available in several colors and several versions. So go ahead and click that and check that out. It's like $23, and they're great. Okay, so we're almost done. One last thing that we need to talk about, of course, is face masks. And we will use the same guidelines that the adult team currently uses on the platform right now. Vocalists will not be required to wear masks when singing on stage. And that's because of A, the difficulties of singing with a mask, and B, the barrier that it creates when we're trying to connect with our church family and lead others into the presence of God. And hey, drummers, you're also not required to wear masks when you're playing, because you are literally in an isolated room in the drum enclosure. So doesn't that work out great? Uh, but all other band members and tech team members, please wear your masks during worship. Guys, this will, of course, change as the state issued guidelines and the curve of the pandemic change. But as of right now, those are the guidelines that we need to abide by together. So guys, we believe that raising up the next generation in our church is one of the most important things that we can do. And we intend to invest in these students as much as possible for the glory of God, as they are literally the future of our church and of our impact on our community. And the future of our church is not decades away, guys. It is so much closer than that. So let's get started. Please contact me with any questions that you have. I'm so excited to see what God is going to do this year with our Faith Fellowship students. And I can't wait to dive in with you all this month. We'll see you soon.